like you said, Shawn Mendes also what he said like he's saying, for us to remember why we are here and what we are doing. It might sound like a very simple thing, but it is actually the most crucial thing, because if you are aware of why you've come here, of course you should not limit yourself by either of the things, why you've come here or also what you're doing. But I think everything in life is a middle ground. You can't be too extreme about anything. If you will say कि मैं by design ये करना है तो मैं यही करूँगा, until unless you have too much conviction, you should not put yourself into that shoe. And I think sometimes to know what works and doesn't work for you, you need to do a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think open mics allow that, right? Parve, what do you say?
No, I just wanted to add to that. I don't remember who I heard this saying. I mean, I was seeing the videos coming into the feed, and there was this video where I'm forgetting the name of the person. So he was asked the question that what advice do you want to give to the younger generation, or like the people who are still in the teenage and trying to figure out what they should be doing. So the thing that he said is pretty valid. I don't know if this applies to the
I think Gary Vee.
exactly, yeah, right. I think Gary Vee, but what he said was very interesting. So what he said was the only thing that I want to tell people to do or to try doing is to try doing everything and anything, whatever they can get hands on at, just do that and see if you want to really do that or not. So that's something I think probably that this is happening now slowly but surely, I think in India as well, that people are trying to let people explore the options and try to get into something and then decide that okay, this is not something that I want to do. So I think that's something very, very important. So it probably applies to anything that we want to do, and especially music, or rather I'd say art, where there are multiple different things that you can pursue, right? So music also gives you an option of pursuing certain genres or pursuing certain styles to play, or pursuing certain type of songs to play. So I think that's more important. So if I mean, covering a lot of songs is much more important, even if you are trying to write your own songs. I think it's very important to try own songs. I think it's very important to try to play different songs totally out of your comfort zone and
it helps
see
you
if
decode.
it helps you decode how yes, exactly. And in fact, I mean, probably even trying different songs in your own style is what gives you a lot of perspective about things. I think that's what I've felt. I mean, the sole reason I don't think I should do covers is I don't do covers generally because the only reason I think is because I think I won't be able to do justice to the songs. That's the sole reason that I generally don't do covers in the gigs. But as I do covers, that's not something that I don't want to do. But that's the thing. I mean, it gives you an added pressure. I think that's what happens with me. But yeah, a lot of people do covers. A lot of people do a lot of good covers, and I've seen you also. I mean, we've seen Tannish doing a lot of
absolutely
beautiful covers as well. So
Tannish has a lot of range.
That's the best part. So a lot of different songs that you cover. So I mean, since I've spoken about covering songs, I have one question that I wanted to ask to you is so you've done a lot of covers. You have a lot of videos put out recently as well on Insta, and so what I wanted to understand is, so you did a lot of collaborations as well in between. So how does this, that what kind of an experience is that? So because right now, especially when we are in a situation where we cannot come together physically a lot of times, right? So and you did collaborations. I think I'm forgetting the name, but you did a collaboration with a female vocalist. She's not even she's abroad as well. I think you.
So her name is Dana. I covered Perfect with her from Germany.
Yes.
So so collaboration, actually my first collaboration happened with Simran. You know Simran, right? From
Yeah,
Pune
yeah.
itself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard
So
about her.
ये part edit नहीं होना चाहिए. ये part edit नहीं होना चाहिए.
नहीं, ये बात है, sorry, Simran, sorry.
So she was the one who was like, let's do a collaboration and all. And initially, like, I was not very keen on it because we could not meet. So you never, like, I had a proper studio setup and all, right? But everyone does not have it. But I was like, okay, let's give it a try. Okay, but like,
Right.
you record it. So she had like a Zoom recorder, chota sa. Obviously, it is not that efficient, but it was pretty good. But because of that, what happened is my mixing and editing skills got quite brushed up. Because
Right.
thing is, the person is sending his audio has a lot of noise and all. Usme we have to edit and make it sound like it was, it was like, recorded with the same mic that I have. Yeah, you have to make it sound like it, right? So I did a cover with her, and I was like, it is pretty, like, it takes a lot of work, but it is pretty interesting. So that was the first cover. Like, it did not do very, very well on Instagram. It was like, I don't know, maybe at that time the algorithm was.
What
just
is
not
well for
enough
you?
either.
What is well for you? Because I know that a lot of covers, if they are shared like even by 20 people, they can get around 1,000 views. So what is well for you?
I think
In
well
terms
for
of
me
views,
is if
in terms of impact, what is the good definition of doing well for you in terms of covers?
First of all, I think if my cover crosses the views on my cover, if it crosses the number of people that follow me, like I think that is good enough for me. And plus, but I also don't. I want, I feel that the likes and the views should be in some ratio at least, because then because obviously if you watch the cover 2-3 times, that gets added up. But to be honest, like eventually when I started Instagram in 2019 only, I started again. Like I reopened my account, a new account I opened. Before that, I had another account. But then this time when I opened, initially I was very intrigued by कितने views आ रहे हैं, देखूं जरा हर 2 मिनट में check कर रहा हूँ कितने views आ रहे हैं, कितने likes आ रहे हैं. But then eventually, like, I don't like care about those things that much. Like initially it was a huge thing for me, कितने views आ रहे हैं. अभी obviously I check like every 2 hours I'll check कितने आ रहे हैं, and then comments also I reply. सब बहुत comments 24 hours बाद I'll reply. Right, because what I noticed about Instagram is like
एकदम वोडाफोन हेल्पलाइन वाली बात कर दी. Anyway,
ठीक है तो
3 बिजनेस डे में 24 घंटे बाद बात पर
But yeah, I also noticed that Instagram का algorithm is very unpredictable. Like some of my covers which I don't even expect कि अच्छा करेंगे, because vocally I feel कि maybe इतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ है, they somehow blow up. Some covers like I put up a reel recently on Instagram, and that was like literally random me sitting in shorts and all, and I just recorded it 30 seconds का, ठीक है, and it blew up. 10 minutes में I had 4K views.
What are you saying?
Okay, so
yeah,
that was like a huge thing for me. But then 10 minutes. Yeah, so the thing about reel is if it goes into the explore section even for 5 minutes, then your reel blows up. After that, obviously it goes again, it becomes slower and slower, and it gets stuck on one place. So that is why I feel that right now I don't give that much importance to views and all, because it is very unpredictable. And I feel that your views, unless you have like 1 million views or something, I don't feel like it like counts towards, I don't think it differentiates good art and bad art, the number of views. Like for example, if I'm getting more views than another person, does not mean maybe his art is better than me. It's just that I have better engagement with my followers and all, and I have more people are sharing my stuff. That is why I don't like, views are good, but I don't feel it should be the criteria to judge what is good and what is bad. That is what I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you tell me, do you prefer doing collabs or do you prefer doing your own thing? What do you prefer more? What do you enjoy more? Do you think like collabs
if I do my own thing, obviously I can give myself the liberty and the time. आज नहीं कल record कर लेंगे. But in collabs, obviously there's this thing कि अब इसने भेज दिया तो pressure आता है कि मेरे को भी. So this Germany वाला thing, how this happened is that obviously we follow a lot of other artists on Instagram if you like them, right? We don't think whether we know them personally or not, we just follow them. So like that, so this girl Dana, she followed me, and I usually like I follow back other artists if their work is good. Like why not? They're getting an extra follower and I'm getting a follower. So I checked out her work and it was pretty good. So I just pinged her, you want to collab, because that will help you as well, because you'll get a lot of Indian audience. Okay? And I'll get a lot of maybe German audience. So I asked her and all, but because of the time difference, and obviously she replied late and all. And yeah, obviously then we talked, we should do this cover and that cover and all. So finally we came to because we had to do 1 minute cover only. I don't want to do IGTV. I was like, we'll do 1 minute cover. So I told her this, and then she did not have any recording stuff. So she sent me a recording using AirPods.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah, and then I had to mix
a sad
that.
Story. such an unresourceful person who could not afford had to send to an airport. I feel so sad for this person. No, I'm just kidding. ये तो पक्का है. अगर इंडियन आइडल से बांद्रा के लोगों को लेता तो बहुत मतलब यूपीएस ऑफ बॉम्बे वाले लोग आउटसोर्स करके इंडियन आइडल के कंटेस्टेंट सिलेक्ट हो जाते हैं. You know, I only had one pair of AirPods and got my charger at home. Life has never been so difficult. And
yes, obviously like.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think the people who are resourceful out of the resources they have is also very commendable.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, you send it with AirPods only. We'll see. But just make sure that you record in a very silent room. You know, जितना कम background noise ना better होगा. Then I recorded it. Then we made the video.
Okay, I'll record it in my 8th room. No issues in my big room. Oh, I'll have to climb all the way up and I'll have to. But yeah, no. It's great, bro. It's great. I'm just no. ऐसा प्लेलिस्ट का मजाक नहीं उड़ा रहे थे. जिनके पास है अच्छी बात है, जिनके पास नहीं है काम करो मिल जाएगा.
Exactly. And then my third cover was with one of my friends. Like she's a very close friend of mine. I made a cover with her.
अच्छा.
That is
You're talking about Ritik? Oh, अच्छा no.
No, I'm talking about on my channel. Yeah, Ritik तो recently happened. Ananya करके एक girl with Shruti Petty, I think. I don't know.
अच्छा. Okay.
Yeah, so with her so with her I made a cover. And then Ritik के साथ तो one day he just called me and was like, let's do a cover and all. Like, okay, yeah, cool. Obviously, quarantine and all, we were quarantined. I don't know how he went out and shot that video. I don't know if you've seen this. पानी के side में चल रहा है ये वो. मैं तो balcony में shoot किया.
Imagine police भाग रही है ऋतिक के पीछे shot क्या था बोलते हैं बात करी मेरा तेरी तो.
Exactly. मुझे तो बोला यार तेरा कितना अच्छा वीडियो बनाया. मैं तो सिर्फ 2 एंगल से शूट किया.
ऋतिक का हमने जो म्यूजिक वीडियो शूट किया था बजट के साथ उसमें इतना प्रोडक्शन वैल्यू नहीं था जितना उसने कवर वीडियो में निकाला.
उसने इतने सारे एंगल्स दिए थे प्रोफेशनल लग रहा था एकदम. मैंने कहा भाई बढ़िया है. मैं तो यार 2 शॉट्स में दे रहा हूं तेरे को वीडियो से राइट और लेफ्ट प्रोफाइल.
हम लोग ऋतिक का म्यूजिक वीडियो शूट करने बोले थे. उसने बोला नहीं घर के बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे. पर उसको क्या पता था कि 1.5 साल बाद क्वारंटाइन करना पड़ेगा. पर नहीं मैं मजाक कर रहा हूँ. पर नहीं बट एक्चुअली नहीं बहुत अच्छी बात है यार. दिस इज सो गुड. आई थिंक व्हेन यू कोलैब विद अदर पीपल यू आल्सो रियलाइज कि it's like dating people. You get to know कि what works for you, what is better for you. सबका अपना collaborative style रहता है. जैसे मैं ज्यादा intrusive नहीं रहता हूँ कोलैब करते वक्त. lot of people are very like nitpicky. तो वैसी वाली बात रहती है. पर नहीं it's good bro, it's good. So
the only thing like when I'm collabing and all, the only thing I tell the other person is that ये अगर ऐसे मतलब 5-6 दिन ले ले आराम से कर. तू 10 रिकॉर्डिंग कर 5-15 रिकॉर्डिंग कर बस परफेक्टली भेज. बिकॉज मेरे पास ऑटो ट्यून वगैरह कुछ है नहीं. मेरे पास लैपटॉप में है नहीं ये सब चीजें. ऑब्वियसली मैं अब नहीं कर पाऊंगा. ना तो तुमको दूर से भेज रहे हो वापस कॉल करके बताना पड़ता है कि ये हुआ है. दैट इज अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क कि भाई ये अच्छा नहीं आ रहा वापस भेजो मेरे को. तो ये बस दैट इज अ लिटिल थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है. बट उसके अलावा आई थिंक वंस द ऑडियो इज कंप्लीट वीडियो इज आई थिंक नथिंग. वीडियो शूटिंग इज वेरी इजी बिकॉज़ यू डोंट हैव टू लाइक एक्ट प्रोफेशनली एंड ऑल. ना यू जस्ट हैव टू लाइक सिंग करना है सिंक्रोनाइज करना है.
ये सब चीजों में मतलब सबकी अपनी अपनी ऑडियंस है. तो यू कैन
एग्जैक्टली
when people say कि मेरे को स्टूडेंट ऑफ द ईयर 2 मतलब अगर तुम इंसेप्शन एक्सपेक्ट करके जाओगे तो फिर तो तुम डिसअपॉइंट ही होगे ना. मतलब कि
exactly but it was made for that. It was made as a masala movie. तो मसाला ही मिलेगा.
and they made it well also. ऐसा थोड़ी नहीं.
नहीं अभी एक तो मतलब even if मतलब स्टूडेंट ऑफ द ईयर फर्स्ट पार्ट के बारे में अगर कोई बोले ना कि I was highly I was disappointed और मेरे को ये लगा था कि मैं कुछ और मिलेगा तब भी I would have thought कि I would think कि यार ठीक है ये कुछ तो सोचिए. बट 2 जब बन रहा है तो you already know what 1 was.
Exactly.
So उसके बाद आगे हाँ you can't complain. Either don't watch. मतलब ठीक है.
1 तो फिर भी ठीक था. 1 तो फिर भी ठीक ही था. I think 2 थोड़ा ज्यादा फ्लॉप हो गया.
1 तो मैं कितने बार देख सकता हूँ ब्रो. 1 तो
अच्छा था. Exactly.
इतने बढ़िया सीन है उसमें मूवी. पर नहीं मेरे को जेन्युइनली बहुत पसंद है स्टूडेंट ऑफ द ईयर. मतलब कभी भी बैठ के देख सकते हो कहीं से भी देख सकते हो. हमेशा मजा आता है मूवी देखने में.
like it's a masala movie. like it is what you have to expect that only. if you go in a logic expect करना तो फिर तुम्हारी गलती है वो.
नहीं बिल्कुल expectations both from the artist and from the people who are expecting you to you know are perceptive to मतलब जो आपकी ऑडियंस है दोनों साइड से expectations जब क्लैश हो जाती है ना तभी कंफ्यूजन होता है. जब आई थिंक लोगों को पता ही नहीं उनको क्या पसंद है until you give it to them for the first time. How do you know? Like मैं तो हमेशा ये मान के चलता हूँ. I always consider this कि my favorite thing is something that I'm yet to watch or I'm yet to you know मतलब consume in terms of कि ऐसी कोई चीज. How am I supposed to decide कि मेरी favorite चीज क्या है? Of course whatever favorite thing I like, what is the favorite thing? Something you can revisit.
Yeah.
Something you can do. but you have to experience it for the first time. You have to consume it for the first time in order to at least for it to become your favorite. So I think people also need to be more open about how they are, perceptive towards anything around them new. क्योंकि चीजों को मतलब लोगों को समझने में बहुत सारी चीजें acquired taste होती है. जैसे इतने सारे गाने जो है पहली बार में सुन के मतलब मेरे को तो समझ नहीं आता है. मतलब इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेरे को पता है कि इट्स वेरी गुड, पर उसको 3-4 बार 5 बार सुनते हैं. जैसे ए आर रहमान के साथ बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि
ए आर रहमान का ऐसा ही होता है मेरा हमेशा. उसको 5-6 बार सुनने पड़ते हैं गाने.
हाँ
तब फिर
मतलब
फील आता है गाने का.
इतने फ्रेश होते हैं कि मतलब takes very. I think even Tanmay was talking about this to like a neuroscientist. Like they were talking कि हमारे जो brain में जो pathways है, जो neurons है, I'm forgetting the terminology. They are not used to those patterns in terms of musicality. That जो होते हैं. But once our brain has understood those set patterns, then we are completely like मतलब we are tripping over what we are experiencing. वो वाली बात है.
Exactly. Yeah, that happens with a lot of songs. You have to listen to it.
lot of hit songs are basically have elements of things you've heard before. That's why they are easy to digest.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is why remakes work now, because you are familiarized with that thing already, so you are easily acceptable of what you are listening to, and then there are more chances of you to for nostalgia. Nostalgia is one of the biggest weapons of marketing. So
exactly. Yeah.
So वो वाली बात हो जाती है.
Yeah, even with pop music and all, people tend to like musicality बहुत बार same ही होती है. And जब वो shift करते हैं तो that is a big risk they take. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work.
Right. Absolutely. A lot of people have reinvented themselves in that front. Like, I'm unable to cite an exact example, but a lot of people have reinvented how the kind of music they make midway only when they're doing well.
Yeah.
Can I cite as an example who did that?
I think a lot of people. Even if you listen to Linkin Park, first few albums, they were completely different.
Rock based.
Very into more of a pop side of it. But I mean, completely different genres, completely good songs. But they did that basically.
And then recently they came up with like heavy and One More Light. These are like these are pop songs only, but they are not like pura rock and all ऐसा type नहीं है. Like different genres, like you can hear it.
Right.
You can distinguish it. Yeah. A lot of even I feel even Justin Bieber, like I'm listening काफी ज़्यादा आजकल. Even he has completely shifted the way he makes his songs.
Right.
And the way he sings. Well, it was all pop and pura completely pop.
Purpose के साथ he did that only. He reinvented himself completely.
Exactly. Yeah.
He likes to produce his album and all those things.
Yeah.
So automatically everything about his, like the way you expect his stuff to be, it changed because it was very different about in terms of how it was.
Yeah.
So I think वो बहुत important चीज है किसी के लिए भी constantly gradual new चीज, क्योंकि लोग बोलते हैं कि they want that from you, but they don't want that from you actually. They want something new only. Lot of people like, I think who is that example of that person? I think like you might cite an example like Anubhav Sinha, जिन्होंने बहुत commercial movies बनाई, but then he started making critically acclaimed movies. So मतलब he went more towards deeper subject matter और वो सब चीजें. तो he started doing that because he realized that is more enriching in terms of what he wants to put. वो होता ही है. I think a lot of people who do that कि अपना style बीच में change कर देते हैं, वो एक बहुत important exploration भी रहता है बहुत लोगों के लिए. Who is this one example? I'm just not able to remember who did this musically, like completely changed his way of doing. And beach mein or I think it's Indian only, but I'm not able to remember the name. But anyway, so Mirko, tell us your top 5 artists. Like who are your top 5 artists worldwide? India doesn't matter.
Very difficult to choose actually.
I think it's the easiest. I think it's the easiest sometimes. I think वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि we tell ourselves a lot of lies कि we are into this person, that person. Like how I have now started looking at myself is that I'm very honest to. I'm not too projective. I don't project my honesty. Like I think that is arrogance. Like when you say this, like generalizations कि अरे ये वो नहीं. But I'm very honest to myself कि who I particularly like completely. So I think that happens over time. So like honestly, in terms of honesty towards your own perception, who are the people that you genuinely like in terms of musician?
So like number one, I think will for me will be Arjit Singh, because while growing up, he was one of the singers that was upcoming, and I was also growing, and I was like slowly becoming more inclined कि भाई यही करना है जिंदगी में, यही करना है. So that is why obviously he like plays a big role in that. and at that time सारे गाने उसी के थे, so we used to sing उसके songs ही. So he's one of the singers, and I feel that he's a very down to earth and very humble guy. So you know that actually
वो
is
अपने
a
जोन में,
quality.
वो अपने जोन
Yeah,
में.
exactly. अपने अलग zone में, बाकी लोगों से competition ही नहीं है. And
Exactly.
then
जरूरत भी नहीं है compete करने की.
exactly हाँ.
मौका ही क्या दिया उनको आज तक compete करने का.
Exactly हाँ. बहुत singers आए and गए, but then he's still there. Then second number पे I think Ed Sheeran definitely has played a huge role. Like I know these are all very like you know super popular and a lot of people like them, but yeah, I do love Ed Sheeran. I have a poster as well. Exactly. So like he actually kind of, you know, I used to play guitar and all, but I was not very confident. I was not even confident कि open mic में बजा पाऊँ guitar. मतलब मैं पहुँचता ना उस stage तक कभी if it wasn't for Ed Sheeran, because of him I started finger picking and all, and confidence बढ़ा मेरा और ज़्यादा. So Ed Sheeran, Arjit Singh, Ed Sheeran. Then I would say Michael Jackson, because when I was younger he was the only English artist that I used to listen when I Hindi सुनता था. Then who else? Then A.R. Rahman maybe, as a music composer, like his vision and all, I really like it. And then number 5 would be
Sonu Nigam maybe. I think probably.
Sonu Nigam. I don't know, like he's an amazing singer, but I don't think it's top 5 for me. He will be. I would say
Shan, KK, whom do you?
I'll say I think KK. I would say like he has like a really good, like I look up to his singing a lot. That is one thing. Like, obviously
I think KK is most underrated. Most underrated mainstream musician is KK only, I feel.
Yeah, like I looked up like Purane songs. Most of the songs are his only. Like he has literally sung pura albums. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I think even just to point out, I think Arijit Singh himself said in one of the interviews that KK is probably was the most versatile of his time. Most versatile.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think because of Sonu Nigam, I feel got, and Sonu Nigam and what's his name? Shani. एक और
Udit Narayan.
Yeah, I feel इनकी वजह से थोड़ा सा maybe overshadow, because these are huge names. Udit Narayan was a huge name, because I saw once I was seeing key list of Filmfare awards and all, and he's got more Filmfare award I think than Arjit Singh also. Every year he was only winning. Udit Narayan, and the thing is he's not even a trained singer. So that is the thing. But he had an era of himself. Like even Sonu Nigam did not win that many awards.
नहीं तो अवार्ड्स तो अभी वो ही हो गए कि अरिजीत सिंह अगर अटेंड करने नहीं जाएगा तो क्यों अवार्ड देंगे, तो वो वाली बात. तो वो वाली बात होती है. पर नहीं वो तो आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी गुड लिस्ट एक्चुअली. तो मेरे को ये बताओ कि पार्थ भाई ऑलवेज आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज लाइक आवर कॉर्पोरेट क्वेश्चन दैट वी डू. तो पार्थ भाई इरशाद किया जाए.
तो हमारा जो कॉर्पोरेट क्वेश्चन है वो इट्स अ प्रीटी, I don't think it is a pretty straightforward question, but it is a very common question. Okay. What do you think how do you see yourself in the coming future? I've just changed it from coming 5 years, but coming future, let's say, because that's more viable, more understandable. So how do you see yourself in the coming future, and how do you see the whole entire scene going towards in the coming future, basically?
That is a tricky question actually, because because even this year I had planned a lot of things, ye hoga wo hoga, but obviously completely unpredictable and completely uncertain.
No, but let's remove the uncertainty. Let's say कि सब is going everything according to how you plan it. Then how do you see everything? Because uncertainty तो कल meteorite गिर सकता है, तो क्या पता.
Exactly.
Certainty पे चल रहे हैं हम लोग, तो क्या उखाड़ लेंगे हम लोग. तो मतलब तो
okay, so I would say that like if things like I would want to make a name for myself, if things according to me, make a name for myself in the Indian film industry and music industry obviously. And then after that, maybe when I'm a little established and I have a name, like I have a fan following and all, maybe after that maybe I will think about taking out an album. Maybe it might be independent, might be under a label and all, but yeah, an album, like apart from doing film. But yeah, film music I will keep doing. I'll never be like I don't want to do film music. I'll do it, but side by side obviously I want to take out albums. I want to take out English albums as well, like this is all obviously in the back of my head and all, but let's see how things go. If things go according to me, this is how it should be. But let's see.
Wonderful, bro.
Yeah, and
Wonderful.
music scene, obviously it is evolving quite a bit because a lot of independent artists are coming up. I can see independent music booming and all, like Anup Jain, Prateek Kuhad, and all, right? And even like, and obviously last year I feel Bollywood ka music ka was one of the worst. Last year I think apart from Kabir Singh album, nothing worked Bollywood, I guess. And इधर एक दो गाने कलंक के एक दो गाने थे, वो तो obviously they worked. And this year movies did not come
अभी
out,
वही
songs
सोच रहा
did
था
not come out.
कि लोगों ने कलंक को इतनी गाली दी, पर अभी उसी के गाने पे एडिट करके नाच रहे सब लोग.
हाँ, गाने अच्छे थे, मूवी तो एक्चुअली इतनी अच्छी थी नहीं, बट गाने अच्छे थे. And yeah, and this year obviously movies only did not come out, so songs का तो इतना सवाल उठता नहीं है जितना, like I liked Ludo का जो soundtrack था, काफी अच्छा था Ludo मूवी का, बहुत ही बेहतरीन soundtrack, loved it. And उसके अलावा yeah, I feel like obviously I feel कि इंडिया में Bollywood will have the upper hand for obviously.
I think hip hop industry is rising now.
Hip hop industry is something that is rising fast. And that is I think faster than independent. I feel like that is rising very fast. Everyone is like,
I think it has a very good momentum with everything that happened, like Gully Boy and the whole
exactly. It boosted it. Yeah, exactly.
It completely boosted it. और अभी जो मैं literally notice कर रहा हूँ, ऐसे 5-10 गाने हैं ऑफ lately 2-3 महीने में जो बहुत ही बढ़िया गाने हैं, ऐसे even if you remove hip hop from them, they individually are also very good songs. So hip hop add okay. I think people needed that freshness because I think it should never always be one source. Neither it should always be Desi hip hop. Neither it should always be only film music. Neither it should always be independent music. I think there should be
a mixture of everything. Yeah.
There should always be a crossover also. Always. Like there should be like so. सब अपने स्पेस में सब कॉम्पिटिटिव रहेंगे क्योंकि सब लोग अगर सेम चीज करेंगे वैसे भी सब लोग सेम चीज करने के लिए आए नहीं यहाँ पे लोग अलग अलग चीजें करने आए तो सबकी अभी अपनी स्पेसेस बन रही है so I think it's an exciting time for music so नहीं वो तो बहुत Anyways, Tannish, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me and this finally happened. Yeah.
I'm just glad. Glad. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
see you guys.
Guys watching this, please follow Tannish. Please follow Sounds Good Podcast. Either on Instagram, soundsgood.pod. People watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Subscribe. And on Spotify, our listeners, hello. You can't see us, but hello, bol raha hu. And thank you so much. Keep supporting, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.